All right, let's dive in. Today we're exploring some pretty mind-blowing stuff. Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza and the Law of One.
Oh, those are both fascinating reads. Definitely some thought-provoking concepts in there.
Totally. We're going to get into some deep stuff about human potential, consciousness, even bending reality. You ready to have your mind blown?
Haha, always up for that.
Okay, so first up, Dispenza. Becoming Supernatural. His big message is we're all capable of, well, the supernatural, but we kind of get in our own way.
Right, it's like we limit ourselves with our thoughts and beliefs.
Exactly. We hold ourselves back from, like, our true potential.
And Dispenza backs this up with some pretty interesting science, too. He gets into brain waves, energy
Like
centers.
those energy centers. He talks about the heart and pineal gland and even our emotions playing a huge role in manifesting stuff. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, he really emphasizes how those areas have their own unique, frequencies. They're like little brains within the body, you know? Each one influences both our physical and mental states.
It's wild. Like we've got these untapped reservoirs of energy just waiting to be unlocked.
Totally. And he uses this story about a woman named Anna who healed herself from cancer and paralysis using his techniques.
Oh yeah, Anna's story is incredible. Like talk about the power of the mind.
It really shows how we can use emotions to actually signal new genes, create a healthier body. It's amazing.
It really makes you think about how connected our emotions and physical well-being truly are. Like if you can shift our emotional state, we can impact our biology. Powerful stuff.
Absolutely. What I also find interesting about Dispenza is his approach to meditation. He offers tangible tools like using kaleidoscopes and creating these mind movies to reprogram the subconscious.
Right. It's like he's giving us a step-by-step guide to rewiring our brains.
Exactly. He takes those complex scientific and spiritual concepts and makes them actionable.
Now let's shift gears a bit. Time for the law of one. Imagine a sixth density being named Ra, communicating through a channel back in the 80s.
Wow, okay.
Their core message, all is one. We're all connected, part of this same universal consciousness.
That's such a fundamental concept, but it really makes you think, right? It challenges our ideas about individuality, makes you wonder how much we're affecting each other with our thoughts and actions.
Definitely. And they explain it through this idea of densities, different levels of spiritual evolution, like a staircase. Each step is a higher level of consciousness and understanding.
Okay, I'm following.
So get this, Ra says Earth is moving from third to fourth density right now.
Whoa, what does that even mean for us?
It's a big shift, right? It seems to be about moving towards a more heart-centered, compassionate way of being, where we actually recognize our interconnectedness.
That makes sense. So, what part do we play in this shift?
That's the big question, isn't it? How does understanding these densities change how we see the world and ourselves?
Totally. And then there's this whole thing about Ra saying six density beings, like themselves, have become light. What does that even mean?
Right. It's a bit mind-boggling. But if we connect it back to Dispenza with the energy centers and all that, it seems like both sources are pointing to this idea that our energy, whether we call it light or frequency, is key to our spiritual evolution.
You know, you're right. Both sources are saying we need to refine our energy, whether it's through meditation, managing our emotions, or helping others to reach a higher state of being.
And they both seem to agree that it's not some far-off thing. We can actively participate in this, like right now.
We can actually shape our own evolution, not just individually, but as a collective consciousness.
It's a pretty powerful thought, right? It brings up a question for me, though. If we are all connected and our energy is so powerful, then what kind of world do we want to create?
It really makes you think about what you're putting out into the world. Are we contributing to fear and separation, or are we working towards love, unity, and understanding? It's a choice.
It's a powerful thought to hold on to as we keep exploring these ideas. Okay, so you know what really got me thinking to becoming supernatural? It's Dispenza's whole thing about those energy centers.
Yeah, those are pretty wild. Like he's saying they have their own frequency and consciousness, mini brains.
It's crazy, right? And he connects each center to like specific glands and hormones, even the nervous system. It's like each one impacts our physical and mental state in a big way.
And he actually gives you ways to work with them too. Remember that breathing technique he talks about, like pulling energy up your spine?
Oh yeah, that one. He really stresses moving that energy from the lower centers, the ones all about survival, up to the higher ones, the heart and pineal gland.
It's like literally shifting out of a survival mode and into a more creative, heart-centered state.
Totally. And that kind of allows me of the law of one with that whole fourth density transition.
Ooh, yeah. Interesting connection. Almost like we're prepping ourselves energy-wise for a consciousness shift.
Dispenza says that when we get that energy moving up to those higher centers, we tap into this higher frequency, like a more coherent energy. And that's what lets us connect with the quantum field.
The quantum field, that's where things get really trippy. It's like we step into this reality where our thoughts and emotions can actually impact, like, the fabric of existence.
It's mind-blowing, right? And Dispenza says the pineal gland is key for this. He calls it like an antenna that can take energy and turn it into images.
Whoa, so it's like we're tuning into a different channel, getting information and possibilities beyond our normal senses.
Exactly. So then, how does this actually work? Dispenza talk about changing our brainwaves, going from that busy beta state to a relaxed alpha state. And he uses techniques like the kaleidoscope and mind movies.
The kaleidoscope thing is so cool. It's like hacking your brain to get into a trance.
And in that state, we become more open to like reprogramming our subconscious with positive images of what we want, those mind movies.
It's almost as if we're rewiring our brains to match the frequency of, well, our dreams, I guess.
Okay, but how does this tie into the law of one? Densities, universal consciousness, brainwaves and kaleidoscopes seem pretty different.
Yeah, on the surface they do, but I think there are some parallels if you look closely. Both sources really emphasize how powerful our thoughts and emotions are. Like, they shape our reality.
In the law of one, they say our thoughts and actions create a kind of energetic signature that influences our experiences.
And Dispenza talks about those thoughts and emotions creating an electromagnetic field that messes with the quantum field. That's how we attract similar experiences.
So whether we're talking about energetic signatures or electromagnetic fields, it seems like the basic idea is the same. What's going on inside us shapes what happens outside us.
Yeah, like that saying, what you think you become. But both sources give us a deeper look at how it all works.
And they both say we have a choice, free will to create whatever reality we want.
That's a lot of responsibility. But here's a thought. If we're all connected, like the law of one says, and our thoughts and emotions are that strong, what does that mean for each of us?
Are we not only shaping our own reality, but like contributing to everyone else's too?
Exactly. Maybe we're all co-creating the world, whether we realize it or not.
It makes you think about the impact of our actions, the energy we're putting out there.
Right, like what if we all focused our energy on the same goal? A world of peace, love, harmony. That'd be amazing.
It's a beautiful idea. Makes me wonder about those wanderers from the law of one. Maybe they're here to remind us that we're all connected, to help us use that collective power.
Maybe they're showing us that we're not alone, that we can create an incredible future together.
Wow, we've really been on a journey, huh? Becoming supernatural and the law of one.
Yeah, from brainwaves to energy centers to densities and wanderers. It's a lot to process.
It is. But the question I keep coming back to is like, what does it all mean for us right here, right now? How can we use this stuff to actually live better lives?
That's the key, isn't it? It's cool to talk about these ideas, but how do we put them into practice?
Exactly. I think both sources give us some clues, though. Dispenza with all the meditation and visualization, and the law of one with its focus on spiritual stuff and helping others.
Okay, so let's start with Dispenza. He's big on like stepping out of the known, breaking free from those routines and beliefs that hold us back. But how do we actually do that?
It seems to start with, awareness, paying attention to our thoughts, our emotions, and even just noticing our habits. Then we can actually choose to change our focus.
Right, step outside that comfort zone, try new things.
Like waking up from a dream and realizing we have the power to change the script. And Dispenza's techniques, especially the meditation, can help quiet the mind, become more aware.
Yeah, those guided meditations are great. And what about the mind movies? I love that idea. Visualizing what you want your future to be like.
It's powerful stuff, reprogramming the subconscious. If we keep picturing our goals, feeling those emotions, it's like we're sending a signal out to the universe.
We're aligning our energy with what we want.
Which actually goes right back to the law of one, what they say about our thoughts and emotions shaping reality.
It all connects, doesn't it?
Totally. It's like we're both the artist and the artwork, always creating and recreating ourselves and the world around us.
So, okay, let's bring the law of one back in. They're all about helping others as a way to grow spiritually. How does that fit in with, like, manifesting our dreams?
It's all about balance, I think. It's not just about going after what we want, but also using our energy to lift others up.
Right, contributing to something bigger than ourselves.
It's like a dance, our own goals and our role in, like, the evolution of everything.
And when we find that balance, our energy just flows better. It's in sync with, well, everything.
And that's when things get really interesting. Here's a thought. If we're all part of this one universal consciousness, like the law of one says, do you think our thoughts and emotions affect others, even if we don't realize it?
That's a deep one. I mean, if we're all connected, our energy's got to be interacting somehow, right?
It's like if we're putting out negativity, fear, judgment, we're adding to that for everyone. But if we're putting out love, compassion, gratitude,
We're raising the vibration for everyone, right? Helping create a better reality.
it really shows how much our choices matter, not just for us, but for the whole collective.
We're all pieces of this giant puzzle.
And how we fit together depends on the energy we bring.
So we got to cultivate that good stuff, love, compassion, unity.
Because when we change ourselves, we change the world. Like Gandhi said, be the change you want to see.
It's like we're all those wanderers from the Law of One, here to help raise consciousness.
Whether we remember why we're here or not, we're all in this together. And the more love we bring, the better it gets.
Absolutely.
Well, that about wraps up our deep dive into becoming supernatural and the Law of One. Hope you enjoyed the journey.
Me too.
Remember, this is just one look at like a huge, complex reality. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, keep growing, and don't forget how much power you have to create an amazing life.
Well said.
Until next time, keep diving deep. 6EI.